The emergency services are using today's date, the 9th of the 909, to get us to think about the work of the emergency call handlers. Far too many people make inappropriate calls to 999. It wastes time, and the whole hoax calls and others put people's lives at risk. With me now, Diana Smith, who is a call handler. Welcome to Channel M today.
Thank you. You
are a call handler for GMP, I believe.
That's right, yes.
So let's just explain how the system works. If I dial 999, I don't get straight through to a GMP person, do I?
No, you don't. First of all, you'll go through to either a BT or a cable wireless operator, and they will decide whether you want police, fire or ambulance, and if it's police, then it will come directly through to myself or one of my colleagues. OK, well, before we talk about what people ring up about, and it's bizarre in the extreme in some cases, how many calls, excuse me, that people make to 999 are inappropriate or non-emergency? 70% of calls are inappropriate or non-emergency.
7 in 10 calls where people pick up the phone and dial 999 are incorrect use of the service?
That's right. A lot of people don't realise there is a non-emergency number. And for Manchester, it's 872 5050, but people don't know of that number, so they will just dial 999.
Well, they do now, because you told them, yeah, that's the standard GMP number, isn't it?
That's right.
So what are the sort of things people are ringing? Well, first of all, define for me, what is an emergency call? What should I be ringing 999 for?
When life or property is at risk. So if there is a crime ongoing, like somebody's smashing up your car, or somebody's about to attack you, or you're being burgled now, even the fact that you've been burgled isn't an emergency, unless you've just seen the offenders run away.
So I come home and I find out that my house has been burgled. I don't ring 999 after the event. I ring the local police station.
That's right.
OK. And what do people ring 999 and inappropriately ask for or talk about?
The most ridiculous things, you know, is the delays at the airport. You get an awful lot of calls where people have got mobile phones in the pockets and it dials 999.
Because even if you put the key lock on, sometimes it'll let you dial an emergency number.
It still will let you dial, yes. Or you'll get people asking for the police and then putting the phone down, they've changed their mind. And what we need to promote is, tell us you've changed your mind and let us know what's going on, because we spend an awful lot of time trying to find that person to make sure that their life isn't in danger.
I mean, you're speaking for GMP. I would imagine the same applies to the ambulance service and the fire service.
Yes.
They must experience the same kind of problems.
Yeah, they must do.
And of those 70%, those are calls to the whole of the 999 number. They're not calls to the police. That's everybody ringing 999 for any reason.
That's right, yeah. A lot of people will dial 999 because they've got no credit on the mobile phone, because that is a free call.
I'm sorry to laugh, because but it's comical, isn't it? I mean, it isn't comical because it's very serious and you're putting people's lives at risk who are genuinely trying to get through. But to ring 999 and say, is there a delay at the airport, I beggars belief, frankly.
Well, yeah. And, you know, there are other people who genuinely need us, and it's tying up that emergency line.
So the advice then, think carefully before you dial those 3 digits.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're following up a crime, it may have been a 999 call 2 days ago. And if you want to follow up and speak to the officer in the case, it does not mean it's 999 the second time round. Then you dial the local number. Is there,
in defence of the people who are making the inappropriate calls, sufficient education as to what constitutes an emergency call? Like, you've just told me what that is. Now, I didn't know that in terms of, you know, an active crime taking place, damage and a threat to yourself and persons and property. Do you think people know enough, or can you do more to let them know?
I don't think people think. I think they're just in a panic. Something horrible has happened to them and they just think, I need to dial 999, and they don't realise that 999 is for emergencies, and what is an emergency to one person might not be to another.
Having a splinter in your finger is not an emergency, is it?
No.
So don't ring the ambulance for a splinter in your finger and stuff like that. But if your building's on fire, or you're genuinely ill, or there's a crime or threat to your person, dial 999. Otherwise, don't be one of those 7 in 10.
That's right.
Diana, thank you very much indeed for the information. Nice to have met you.